Creations. If you're new to my channel and you're stopping by for the first time, thank you for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. Stick around a while by clicking that red button for more crafting on a budget, more everything on a budget videos to come. And if you click it again when the bell appears, YouTube should notify you every time I'm uploading a new video, depending on the option that you choose in the drop-down menu of the bell. If you're interested in following me on social media, you can find those links, you guessed it, in the description box below. Today I'm filming in my craft room. Is it anywhere near done? Oh my word, no, you're not seeing what's on the other side of that camera. But what's great about having a craft room slash filming room is it's just that. It is a filming room. So I'm not in the central part of my house anymore filming and not having to wait until everybody's awake and moving because I don't want to wake people up. Now I am clear on the other side of the house in my own room. So if I wake up at 4 in the morning and need to work and need to film, I totally can without waking anybody up. And so that is the great part about this, which I am so excited about. And guess what? That is exactly what I'm doing today. I am an early riser. It's how I've always been. I get more done in the beginning of the day than I do in the second part of the day. And so I just feel like that's when I'm more energized. And so yeah, anyway, so what do I have going on for you for today? Today is Thursday, which means I am bringing to you a Throwback Thursday, one of those DIYs that I did years ago. Today's Throwback Thursday is definitely one of those DIYs. It is one of my first DIYs that I ever did here on YouTube, that first year that I was doing YouTube, 5 years ago, if you can believe that, and almost 700 videos later. And it still to this day is hands down one of my favorite DIYs. It is very rustic, it is very farmhouse, and it is one of those DIYs that I most definitely like to gift as a housewarming gift when the decor style suits. So what do I mean by that? Today I am bringing to you my DIY mason jar lamp. One of my favorite DIYs. You can do a mason jar lamp for about $20, which is amazing. When you go on to Etsy or when you go on and Google to look where you can buy one, you're not gonna get one for under $60. And that really is one of the smaller lamps. The lamp that I'm making today is a medium sized lamp, and the fact that you can make it for $20 is amazing. Allie's room got redone this past summer and she has always wanted a mason jar lamp in her room, and so I figured, you know what, now is a good time to bring you this Throwback Thursday and put a new updated twist on it. So let me quit my gabbing, let's jump into it, and let's throw back to 5 years ago and let me show you this DIY mason jar lamp if you haven't already seen it yet. And if you have, stick around and see what I do for Allie's this year. For my mason jar lamps, I like to use this giant size ball mason jar. This is a wide mouth mason jar. This is a 64 ounce size jar. You're gonna get this at Michael's for about $5 or $6, which isn't bad. We're gonna start off by putting a hole in this, and I'm gonna show you just how easy you can do that. You do need to do this over your sink because you do need a steady stream of water where you're drilling so your glass doesn't crack. And so it's best to do it in the sink, and I just put a towel there so it doesn't slide around and it's not gonna crack. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put my tape down on the glass, and the tape is just to help the drill bit not slide so much. It will actually slide a little bit, but you just kind of need to keep the drill at a controlled speed and not be in a hurry with this project. The one thing that I do need to tell you is that you don't need to put any pressure on the drill itself when you're drilling, trying to push through the glass faster. Don't put any pressure at all, just a real slight amount, and let the drill bit do all the work. And it does take, you know, maybe about 3 to 5 minutes to get through this glass. Just be patient, let it do what it does, and your mason jar won't crack and you'll be good to go. We're gonna just start off, we want it to have a little bit of water running on it, kind of a steady stream there. And already starting to stick. Okay, there we go. And when you're doing this, you want to keep your drill at an angle. You don't want to be straight up and down with the drill for the circle. You want to start off at an angle and then just kind of gradually work your way up to straight up and down. That's the best way of doing it so you don't crack the glass. My first couple holes that I made in glass, I did it on a beer bottle and a wine bottle. So let's go ahead and start drilling. And you don't want to go too fast either. As you can see, there's already, the half circle there. You can see that it is gradually putting a hole. So just stay patient, take your time, and it's gonna go through. Oh, there it goes. There we go. And we are through. And we have got our hole in our mason jar. You can find the drill bit that I'm using today in this 10-pack on Walmart.com. I am using the largest size. This is a great pack for $10.49 because you're getting several different size bits. To paint my jar, because this is for Allison and her room is gray and teal, I don't have any gray, so using some of Waverly's ink and white, I'm gonna make my own gray. Now, because I'm making my own gray, I'm gonna make a bit more than usual because I don't wanna have to go back and remix it and take the chance that I'm not gonna get the gray the same color. And so just by starting off with white and adding just a bit of the black, I'm gonna mix it until I get the gray that I'm happy with, the gray that's gonna match Allie's room. Then I'm gonna give this mason jar a good coat of this gray paint. This is my base paint. Now you will see on this jar that I'm painting that I did not put the hole in the mason jar. I completely forgot about that step when I started this new lamp because I was so excited to be making one. Allie really likes my mason jar lamp, so when she asked me to please make her one, I thought, oh, what a perfect excuse to do a Throwback Thursday video for this, because this was one of my first DIYs that I ever did here on YouTube, probably almost 5 years ago. And so I've always really loved mason jars. I've always wanted to make a lamp. Once I made one, I had so many people ask me if I would make another that was why I invested in the drill bit, because I knew that it was something that I was going to get use out of, something that I could gift people that was going to be really budget friendly. And who doesn't love mason jars? And so yes, you will see that I don't have a hole in this glass right now, but later on I realized, wait a minute, I didn't put a hole in this glass. And so it was an oops, but I was able to go ahead and put the hole in, patch up the paint, and nobody was none the wiser. Because I had a bit of extra paint, I went ahead and gave this a couple coats of the gray paint. Now taking this folk art crackle medium, this stuff is amazing. You can find it at Michael's for about $7 or $8. If you use a coupon, you're gonna get it for way less. This bottle is gonna last you a while. I'm gonna put this over the base coat of gray that I applied to the mason jar. Now, when you apply this, you're gonna go as thick or as light as you want with the medium, depending on how much crackle you want. So if you want a light crackle, you're gonna put a light coat of this. If you want a heavier crackle, you're gonna go a bit thicker. And one coat is all that's needed. And so I'm just gonna liberally apply this medium because I want a real nice crackle effect, because I think it's gonna add to the distress of it. And Allie really liked the crackle effect more than she liked the distressing. And so that's why I'm going with this method. I have had people in the past tell me that you can achieve this using Elmer's glue. I have yet to be successful doing it with that technique. I have found that it was more troublesome than anything, because you had to use a fan to dry the glue, and then once it dried, it kind of, I want to say, beaded up the paint where I tried to paint. And so it wasn't a technique that I liked, and I have tried it several times. I think that for the price, buying this crackle medium is probably worth the headache and the trouble of trying to get the glue to work. Once you've got the medium on, you're gonna wanna let it set for a few hours because the medium needs to cure before you apply the top coat. So it's gotta be good and dry. I'm gonna apply a white top coat. Again, this is to go with Allison's room, and so I wanted the white to predominantly show, and then through the cracks, I wanted the gray to come through. When you're applying your top coat over the crackle medium, you are going to apply just one coat over the top. This isn't something that you can make several brush strokes over, because if you do that, it will ruin the effect of the crackle medium. So you just kind of want to go over the piece once very lightly, and you can see how I'm doing that. As you're painting it, you will see the crackle effect starting to happen pretty quickly, and for whatever reason, your top coat of paint tends to dry a bit quicker when it's applied over this medium. And so, like I said, just try to only go over your spots once, because if you go over it more than once, it's gonna pull that paint up and ruin the effect. And look there, there's my hole, and look at how amazing that crackle effect turned out. I am loving this. Look how that gray just pops through. Such a fun technique. I think the best part of using a mason jar to make a mason jar lamp is all the cool, lifted, elevated words and lettering that's on it. And so I like to take a light sandpaper and just run over that elevated areas of the mason jar, just bringing through the gray and making it stand out a bit more, because that's what adds character to it. And so I am going to sand it down just a bit to soften it up a little bit. But there are so many fun elements to a mason jar that you really don't want to get lost in the paint. And so, like, the side has all the measurements on it, the other side has the grapevine, and so those are just real fun details to really make sure that you go over with the sandpaper so the gray comes through it, and again, it just adds to the lamp and gives it a story, I say. Now, moving on to the ring of the lamp. This is where we're actually going to put the lamp piece that holds the light bulb. And so on the lid here, I like to take just a nickel, because the nickel is the perfect size, and trace it in the center of the lid. Then I'm going to take just a flat screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and right along the edge line of this, I'm just going to hammer it through. And by hammering it through, it's going to punch a hole. Is it going to be the neatest hole? Absolutely not. But you don't need special tools for this, and the jagged hole isn't going to show at the end of the day. And so the idea is just to make a hole so we can wire our lamp. And so you can see once I went around, I do have a bit of a jagged hole. Okay, not a bit, a lot of a jagged hole. But I'm going to take some pliers and I'm just going to smooth it out just a bit. Again, I just want to reiterate, this isn't going to show, so you don't need to take any special tools unless you want to smooth these out. You could take a Dremel if you wanted to and smooth out those edges, but it's not going to show, you're not going to see it. So once I've pretty much straightened it out just a bit, I'm going to go in with the gray paint that I have left over, and I'm going to give the ring and this piece a good coat of this. I'm not going to worry about crackling it because, again, this piece really isn't going to show. The lamp kit that I'm using today is one that I found at Walmart. I went with the cheapest one, the $7.94 kit. I really didn't see a need to get anything more. If there's a specific kit that you want, they really do have a variety, so you choose based on your preference. I wanted to keep this as low cost as possible, and so I just went with this one here. Very basic, super easy to install. It only has 3 pieces. It's got the light bulb holder, the plug, and the wire. Now taking my lid, I'm gonna go ahead and put it together, and I'm going to wire this, or insert the wire through the hole, because you do want to do that first, and then we're going to go ahead and put the lid on the mason jar once we put the wire through the mason jar and through the hole. Now, when it comes to wiring the lamp kit, I am not going to give you a step-by-step tutorial on how to do this because one, there are so many different kits, and two, I quite honestly don't want to be responsible for giving misinformation. I do it the way I've been taught by my mom, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't know, it's always worked for me. But what I do suggest is that when you do get your kit, that you follow the instructions, and 9 times out of 10, you can find a YouTube video on that specific kit that was made by the manufacturer, giving you step-by-step instructions on how to wire your lamp. I will tell you that it is very easy. You don't need to be an electrician to do it. It takes maybe 5 minutes to do. Now I've got mine wired and you can see that my bulb lit up, so we are good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the light bulb. I wanted to make sure that I wired it correctly before I take some Gorilla Glue. This is a clear Gorilla Glue, and what's great about this glue is it expands when it dries. And so I'm gonna put just a bit of it right along that jagged, clean edge that we made with our flat screwdriver. And I'm just gonna go ahead and place the lamp in there good and snug. So when I tell you that a nickel works for just about any lamp kit. And you can see that the hole is perfect. You can't even see the jagged edge in it. Let's move on to the lampshade. This is a Mainstays lampshade. This is 8 inches. This is one of the smaller lampshades that you can get at Walmart. I wanna say I paid about $5.96 for it. It's gray, it's gonna fit Allie's room perfectly. At Michael's, I found these paper flowers in the dollar bins. Because this blue is the exact color of her room, I thought that this again would be perfect. And to tie in the bottom of the lamp, I got 2 of the white paper roses. And so I thought that this would be the perfect addition to the lamp, just kind of adding a bit of embellishment to it, tying in the gray, the white, and the blues of her room into the lamp. And with this lamp kit, this is one of those where you have to place the lampshade on first, and then you place the bulb, and that's what's gonna hold the lampshade on. And there we go, just like that, we have made a mason jar lamp for about the bargain price of $20, I'm gonna say, which I think is a great buy. Let's go take a look at this in her room. This week, Kayla's uploading with me on Thursday, so you'll want to head on over to her channel, see what she's got in store for you this week. You can find the link to her video in the description box below. Now, there is no reason to spend any more than $20 when you can DIY your own mason jar lamp. It is so easy and the outcome is so amazing. It could be rustic, it could be glam, it could be whatever you want it to be, because you're gonna DIY it, you're gonna get creative, and you're gonna make it your own. I hope you all enjoyed today's Throwback Thursday, my mason jar lamp. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and let's get this video to, you guessed it, 5,000 likes. Because like I always say, each and every one of your thumbs up and those comments that you do leave down below, they really do help my channel to grow, and it helps YouTube to notice me just a bit more. Until next time, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy crafting on a budget. Stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, stay positive and